My name is Nate and I am a senior at AMHS. I'm involved in the robotics club, as you can see here, and by my wonderful shirt that was designed by seniors about 4 or 5 years ago. We like the RoboCat logo because it incorporates the Archbishop Murphy logo, but it also gives the robotic aspect of it too. So robotics is about a 6-week sports season, basically. Starting January 4th, a worldwide video is launched about this year's game and challenge. They'll drop teasers every now and then from this point on till January 4th, but that gives us the overarching competition for the year as a basically a animation of what your robot will do and the rules explained by it. No experience is necessary. I came from an engineering family, so I had some, but most of the kids in there are like, this is something I'm really interested in, this is something I really want to do when I grow up, how can I get started? And so we have a wide range. Some are engineers and working on this, others we have bumper crew making this as safety precaution so it doesn't completely destroy people's ankles. And we have a programming team, maybe 3 or 4 people that program to make this all run. We have an electrical team that wires it all up, and we have a business team for sponsorships and to communicate with other teams. Competitions are 3-day events. We leave school sometimes early on Fridays, weekend before the competition, to go down and set up our pit, which is like our home base in HQ, where we get the robots set up. Usually involves some last-minute scrambling to make sure we're following all the rules. And then you're followed by a tech inspection and an inspection of the field if it's built. There's usually 64 qualifying competitions. It's teams of 3, so you're either red or blue, so depending on the team you have, and you go play. Whoever's the most points at the end of the round gets bumped up on the ladder. And then come afternoon on Sunday is the elimination matches. So the top 8 teams will pick who they want as their alliance partners, as we call them. And then those alliance partners battle out to win who gets last man standing at the end of the elimination competitions. Then they progress to the next round. Most teams go to 2 of these qualifiers, we call them. So we'll go to 2 every year, and then if you win at least one of those, you'll go on to another round. And it's sort of, you keep playing a tournament bracket until you get up to Einstein, which is the competition finals based down in Tennessee. So every year we have a new game competition to call it, but every match you play is that same game. So this year's game was to pick up these yellow balls from the ground in the field, which we used down here, and you can store them, and then you had to shoot them out at targets that were at varying heights and sizes on a wall. And you got different points for each one. And then every game incorporates some sort of aspect of climbing. So this year there was a bar suspended from the ceiling that we had to latch onto and pull our robot up a foot off the ground and hold there after the power was cut off. And then the year before that, we had to climb up onto some really tall boxes. What I think makes the club at Archbishop Murphy unique is this is the only experience really at Archbishop Murphy where you can use chop saws, power tools, and lathes under adult supervision to create stuff like this. We don't have a wood shop, we don't have a metal shop. This is basically your only hands-on experience at working with these types of tools. They should join robotics because it gives you a good introduction and application of what you're learning in school. It sort of gives you a taste of do you want to do this in the real world? People I want to be an engineer, but some might not know actually what an engineer does. So this gives them a insight into that, and they're like, oh, this is not for me. Or they want to be an engineer, but they're not quite sure, so they can test around with different types of engineering they want to do. Another good reason to do this is it's right in the interim between winter and spring sports seasons. So even if you're an athlete and you want to get some experience with engineering, you can participate in this club because it's right in between those 2 seasons. It is a great amount of fun. I enjoy myself every time. We normally run late. Practice is usually 3 to 5 every day, but we normally run late because we're having so much fun and it's just, we don't want to leave. They should be a student here because the campus is great. I love this campus. Out of all the high schools I visited coming to be an 8th grader, I love this campus. The 3 buildings are perfect. You know where all your classrooms are. They don't switch them up on you. We don't use the portables anymore, which is great. and the sports fields are amazing. And the teachers and faculty and staff are just so helpful. If you have questions, they'll help you. If you come in after school with problems, they'll go through, and everyone's just so lovely here. My name's Nate, and I'm a Wildcat.